What if I told you that the world's largest privacy network is a DePIN crypto project that no one is talking about yet? The project has taken existing, proven technology in the Tor browser, known, loved, and used by millions daily for over 20 years, and supercharged it, providing incentive in the form of cryptocurrency and further decentralization, scalability, and security. That project is called Anyone Protocol, one which I have been vocal about for quite some time now. Today we'll do a no BS overview of the project, cover the key metrics, and give my reasoning as to why I think it could provide excellent returns on our investment. If you're new here, I've been in crypto for over 6 years and I'm a qualified financial advisor in real life. However, please note none of this is financial advice. In a nutshell, Tor allows you to browse privately by encrypting and rerouting your network traffic. The issue that Tor faced is it relied on good Samaritans keeping the network up. They weren't getting paid, they did it purely out of the goodness of their own hearts. This is of course amazing in theory, but reality is very different. The number of relays or volunteers wasn't high enough to support the traffic, leading to congestion, low network speeds, and overall inefficiencies. That's where Anyone spotted the opportunity and has capitalized. Initially, it was forking Tor's network, but Tor didn't like this, so Anyone decided to create their own privacy network, aiming to be the largest in the world. Quick break to ask, why are you not part of the best free community in crypto? Join over 1,000 people determined to make money and help each other out. Sign up to the email newsletter too, it's all free, you've got no excuse, link down below. I've commented on the website for Anyone multiple times in the past. Call me old-fashioned, but I believe if you want to make a serious impact in crypto and attract the most amount of investors, you got to at least look professional, right? And the first port of call for many investors is going on the website. Does it look like they spent time and capital on polishing it off, or does it look cheap and tacky? Looking at this, you feel safe and secure investing in the project. It's sleek, modern, and has a great overall feel to it. We'll come back to this front page and hardware a bit later on, but let's start with what Anyone covers. See, this isn't just rerouting your internet traffic via relays like Tor. These guys have taken a proven business model and made it exponentially better. It quite literally can and will cater for anyone. Pun unintended, last time I'm doing that. But take a look here. Of course, we have the hardware device, which is a simple plug and play, protects your home, encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic, similar to Tor. Then we have the desktop app too. This isn't out yet, but I assume it will work similar to a VPN. We just have to wait and see. We have the mobile app, which is out right now and free to download, currently on iOS and soon Android. I encourage everyone watching to download and try this app out for yourselves right now. It's literally free, and that's the mobile privacy element ticked off too. I don't think I need to mention how many people rely on their phones these days for internet. But even after all of that, arguably the most unique and groundbreaking development, you can protect your enterprise as well. And this is for any builders, developers of their own businesses, apps, crypto or non-crypto. You can use the Anyone software development kit and essentially integrate this privacy into your dApps or whatever. This is massive for devs and the possibilities are endless. It could be AI, it could be gaming, it could be real world assets. I think this is huge and honestly deserves more attention. This network is basically a new version of onion routing, the same tech that powers Tor, but rebuilt for crypto. Instead of volunteers running relays for free, Anyone adds token rewards, so operators are incentivized to keep the network fast and reliable. What's different is how it's managed. Instead of one central group coordinating everything, the rules of the network are enforced by staking tokens through a decentralized consensus system. This means no single authority is in control. Over time, users will even be able to customize how they connect, choosing routes that are faster, more private, or even gated by tokens. In short, Anyone is turning onion routing into a decentralized, self-sustaining and customizable privacy network. Some stats we can see here: 12,000 relays registered with over 6,000 currently active. These are actually out of date on their website, and on their X page we can see more up-to-date statistics. Over 19,000 relays registered, which is just fucking mental, with 6,500 currently active. For context, Tor has around 7,000 to 8,000 relays running right now. The difference is Tor has been around for over 20 years. Anyone has been around for just 2. It's literally only a matter of time before more relays are activated, and this propels to 10,000 plus, strengthening the entire network, making it faster, more scalable and more protected. Taking a look at the global relay map, we can see the location spread. Of course, heavily concentrated in the West, Europe and North America, but there is presence across all the continents: South America, Africa, Australasia, throughout Asia too, the Arab countries, East, Southeast, As to be expected, there are none in China, and apparently one single person taking a stand in Moscow. Fair play to this guy. The website hammers home how you yourself can contribute to the network and begin earning rewards in the form of the Anyone token. You can set up a virtual relay with just spare bandwidth and a computer, laptop, or virtual private server. I've done this, guys, and I'm actively earning rewards passively. It really isn't difficult. A VPS is a good way to go about it if you don't want to use your own bandwidth, or you can buy a plug and play hardware device to make it even easier on yourself. Either way, you will be contributing to the network whilst also earning rewards passively in the form of the Anyone token. Speaking of the token, let's discuss the tokenomics. Anyone have hired tokenomics experts in the past to help devise and strategically formulate their supply, rewards, and the overall mechanism. The entire model is pretty long, so I'll summarize the basics. What you need to know is this token was 100% fair launched and actually stealth launched, which is massive. No VCs, no private sales, no one waiting to dump basically. The max supply is 100 million, of which 10 million is reserved for relay rewards, and there is a further breakdown of some other allocations on this page, including marketing, advisors, the foundation, listings, and more. I've seen varied data for how much of the supply is in circulation, ranging from 85 all the way to 100%. Regardless of what it is exactly, the majority of the supply is in circulation and there are no fears of further token unlocks or any dumps. How much you earn can get pretty complex to explain, but we'll keep it simple here. It depends on a variety of factors, including the type of relay you're operating, the bandwidth, uptime, and potential bonuses such as your geographic location. More incentive for those in rarer countries perhaps, kind of like our guy in Moscow. Sorry, that's making me laugh. But the use case is fairly simple. The relay is incentivized, the rewards encourage more relays and keep operators happy compared to Tor, which was done by Good Samaritans, remember, not getting paid. Now you are getting paid for keeping the relay up and reliable. There is staking coming soon too, and also tokens have to be locked up in order to start a relay. Right now it's around 100 Anyone tokens. This should in theory create a supply shock as more relays are spun up, obviously increasing the price. There's also talks of potential premium services using the Anyone token to pay for faster or more secure circuits. So the token began only on Ethereum but has since branched out and is multi-chain, available on Arweave, Peak, and also Base, which we will cover in a little bit more detail later on. When it comes to partnerships, this project has been rattling them off over the last 18 months. On the previous website, there was a section dedicated to partnerships, which I hope they'll bring back. It really does strengthen the protocol as a whole, and I know it's important to many investors. I've gone on X and just searched partner to see, but there have been so many across a variety of different niches: gaming, AI, RWA, DeFi. The thing with this use case is it's so applicable and in demand to so many developers, so I do expect these partnerships to continue to increase. Notable ones I've seen are the Fort Group, Hotspotty, IoTex, Peak Network, but honestly there's so many more. They even partnered with BitTensor in the form of one of the subnets. But of course the headline at the moment is partnering up with Candace Owens. I'm sure you guys know who she is. Some may agree with her opinions, others may disagree. What isn't up for debate though is her audience and her reach. On her podcasts and shows, to have her shouting out anyone is massive, especially in today's age of increasing censorship and surveillance. The awareness from her audience is relevant and quite fitting. I'm sure they'd definitely be interested in this project. Calling it the Candace offer is great marketing too, which is 40% off at the moment if you are interested. She said, do not fall for that VPN trick where you're likely still getting tracked and logged. Anyone is the only network that is not compromised. Very strong words from a big figure. Quick note on the hardware device. Look at how polished this looks. I've compared it in the past, saying it looks like something Apple would produce. The box, the simplicity, the sleekness. This is not something you would expect from a crypto project valued as low as Anyone is right now. The team behind this protocol is partially doxed. With these kinds of privacy projects, it's not surprising to see an anonymous team. It's literally in the name. One which I would like to highlight though is Sean Carey, the ex-founder of Helium HNT. I'll explain the relevance of this later on, but there's also Fort Group engineers, OG Ethereum miners. You can have a read of these yourselves, but I've been in many Anyone spaces on X. The team are switched on, they're focused, they know what they're talking about, they've been at the right conventions, and they are making the right connections. One of which could potentially be Justin Sun, the founder of Tron. The team gave him a hardware device. I mean, hopefully it piqued his interest. Imagine a shout out or cosign from him. That would be pretty mad, but that's just me speculating. The community is also very strong. The X page itself has 73k followers, but there's also a combined 7,000 plus in the Discord and Telegram. I've personally noticed on X that the community is pretty vocal, active, and the project is held and mentioned by large accounts like CryptoWiz. Alex Beck has also notoriously been shouting out the project in many YouTube videos. So it's all well and good having the fundamentals in the project, but what about whether it can actually provide a significant return on investment in the next pump? Anyone is on Ethereum, and ETH season seems to be inevitable at this stage, close to breaking all-time highs, and when that happens, liquidity and trading etc. in better macro conditions will be increasing on ETH, and the strongest projects will naturally pump. I do genuinely believe anyone is going to be a clear winner here. Also, as mentioned previously, they have branched across to the base chain, which I think is massive. Not only hitting more traders and users, but the possibility of a future Coinbase listing, the most user-friendly exchange in crypto. This would be absolutely incredible for the project. Looking at the price history, it's important to note that this was previously called ATOR before the migration, and it ran up to $4 in early 2024. You can see the previous price history on TradingView if interested, but I've merged the two charts here so we can see a more continuous and accurate price action. The new Anyone token is in this slightly pink color. So right now the price is around 75 cents, down around 80% from its all-time high of $4, which it achieved in early 2024. If we focus solely on the Anyone token, the all-time high was around $2 back in December, so we're down about 60% from then. Of course, due to the market, it has performed poorly in 2025, but that gave us excellent buy opportunities. If you've been subscribed to my channel, in my Discord, you'll know I said at 25 cents that I was buying, and well, since then we're up about 3x. But I still think this is an excellent buy price right now. I first bought at around 10 cents back in 2023, and I have been steadily accumulating at appropriate levels ever since. It's currently on a few decent exchanges such as MEXC and KuCoin, but no tier 1s just yet. So due to conflicting information about how much of the circulating supply is actually out, the market cap is going to vary and be somewhat ambiguous. Right now, DexScreener has it at 60 million, but if we look at fully diluted, it will be about 74, 75 million. So still pretty low, for a crypto token. And one thing I want to point out is in the last few days, I have been monitoring the buys, and as you can see, there are some massive buys coming in. 3 days ago, someone put in 100k, which, it's a good sign. The whales clearly know something or are expecting something, I should say, in regards to this token. Speaking on the all-time highs of $4 and $2, it did all this whilst ETH was lagging and Solana/memes were in the spotlight, not so much utility. How do you think a leading utility project is going to perform when its own chain steals the spotlight and people look at utility again? The concept is very simple to understand. It has real life, proven use case and technology, partnerships, excellent tokenomics, a strong community. All the fundamentals are there in my honest opinion. I like to compare this project with Helium from last cycle. This was a similar DePIN project that ran to $5 billion in market cap. Remember, the founder of this project has seen the potential in Anyone and switched across to help push this project out there. So in terms of price predictions, I'll give a couple. Yes, this is all speculative, a bit of fun, but there is some theory involved here. Firstly, my conservative prediction is $5, basically running it back to its previous all-time high. That's a 6.5x from now. Nothing special here. It would give this project a market cap of 500 million, and to be honest, that should be the very minimum. My realistic bullish prediction is $10. You guys know I'm not one of those people who come in with crazy, unrealistic predictions or anything like that. I picked 10 because I genuinely think this is a $1 billion project given everything we've discussed, and it really isn't unattainable. With Ethereum flying and hopefully more liquidity pumping into crypto, how does this token not perform a 2.5x on its all-time high? This token bounces hard when Ethereum and crypto rallies, which are signs of a strong project. We've seen big 10k, 50k, even 100k buys coming in too, so the whales are also sniffing around. If we want to get a bit maybe sillier with our price predictions, why can't this do what Helium did? Run into the multi-billions, $25 to $50 per token. The use case is stronger, it's proven, the demand is there. The ex-CEO sees the potential and pivoted across. Figures like Candace Owens are involved, with more hinted to be on the way. I think it purely depends on what kind of liquidity and mania we see come into crypto later this year. If we get 2021 levels, this reaching multi-billions is genuinely a possibility. Could quite comfortably return a 25 to 50x, which, it's life-changing for so many of us. But realistically, I'm sticking with $10. just over a 10x from now. We'll wrap up this video in my coin scoring matrix to better visualize the true potential of this project. So does it have innovative or excellent technology? That is a yes, because it's using the onion routing network, which is proven and already has existing demand. The relevant narrative is also a yes, privacy and DePIN. Low market cap, 60 to 70 million. Of course, that is pretty low. Good tokenomics, we've got 100 million, about 90, 85%, whichever one you want to go with in circulation right now. No more dumps, nothing like that, and 10 million reserved for rewards, so that is a yes. Experienced or credible team, that is a yes. Whilst they are only partially doxed, we've got the ex-CEO of H&T, we've got Fort Group engineers, we've got early on OG ETH miners, PhDs here and there, so yeah, experienced and credible team is a yes. Key partnerships is also a yes. I listed some of the projects affiliated with anyone early on, and also, we've got Candace Owens and potential other massive figures lined up in the future. Active community is also a yes, 73k on Twitter, thousands in the Discord and on Telegram, and my overall feel is that this is a very active community. Shiny coin effect is a yes. This wasn't around in the previous cycle. It's completely new. Fair launch is also a yes. There were no miners, no VCs, no private sales. So it was completely fair launched. And finally, promising roadmap is also a yes. We've seen what they've ticked off so far with the mobile app, the hardware device. The desktop app is on the way, along with staking and potential premium services as well. So there you have it. On paper, Anyone protocol ticks every single metric that should make a successful project in crypto. If you disagree with me, please let me know why down below. I'm always open to discussion, perhaps I've missed something. Aside from that, thank you all for watching and the ongoing support. I really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, join the free Discord, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.